Good day, Doc. So, this time I am going to present our assigned topic, which is a book written by John Gordon. So, the title of this book is The Power of Positive Leadership. So, how and why positive leaders transform teams, organizations, and change the world. So, together with me in this book to present is Ma'am Jessica Cabengas and then Ma'am Corazon Pinyalan. So, my task for this book is to present or to deliver the first four chapters of the book. So, I will be discussing the four chapters, and then the rest chapters of the book or the remaining chapters will be discussed by my two other co-reporters. So, let us begin. All right, let us have first a quick background if what is this book all about. So, The Power of Positive Leadership, how and why positive leaders transform teams and organizations and change the world. So, again, this is a book written by John Gordon. So, I believe that when I read the content of this book, this is a very inspiring book, I must say. It's because this is a very helpful book in order for us to have a positive mindset, a positive outlook in life, especially if you are a leader. So, the power of positive leadership is your personal coach for becoming the leader your people deserve. John Gordon gathers insight from his best-selling fables to bring you the definitive guide to positive leadership. So, this is not a book wherein there is a stick to one character or more characters. So, what John Gordon did in this book is that he gathers insight. So, from the different personalities, he gathered insights from them. So, these personalities are expert in the different fields in life. So there is a personality who is a psychologist, a business owner, a professor, and others. So those personalities, John Gordon got the different important perspectives about positive leadership, and he integrated this one in this book. So other than that, John Gordon is a constant keynote speaker and international best-selling author. He and his books have been featured on CNN's American Morning, NBC's Today Show, and in Forbes, Oprah Magazine, The Wall Street Journal, The New York Times, Men's Health and Positive Thinking. He works with numerous Fortune 500 companies, professional and college sports teams, hospitals, and leaders in business and education to develop positive and productive leaders, organizations, and teams. So, grabe ang qualification, ang um, talent and skills ni John Gordon. So, he is a keynote speaker and international best-selling author. So, as we all know, he published several books which are very best-selling books. And then, these books guide and motivate readers or people who had the chance to read a certain book from John Gordon. Okay, let's proceed. So let us have the chapter 1 of this book, From Negative to Positive. There is a famous quote that John Gordon integrated in the chapter 1, and it says, being positive doesn't just make you better, it makes everyone around you better. So kung positive ka nga pagkatao, it does not only stay in yourself, it will also impact other people around you. So it will radiate or spark positivity as well sa uban, dili lang sa imuha. Okay, let us also discuss in this chapter the journey of John Gordon. It's because, for all we know, he is a motivational speaker. But, or there is also a positivity in his life. But, in some other side, naapuday time in his life nga dili siya positive sa iyahang kinabuhi. So dili na to makita kung unsa siya ka positive sa ato ang expectation, pero other than that, naay daghan mga certain circumstances in his life in which it was hard for him to have that positivity in his life. We will discover or encounter that one in this first chapter. So according to John Gordon, I'm not naturally a positive person. People think that I am because of my books and thoughts. But the truth is that I have to work hard to be positive. It doesn't come naturally to me. In fact, I find it ironic that I would write a book like this and that my life's work centers on the importance of positivity. So, klaro kayo, nagingon siya nga, I'm not a naturally positive person. So, dili lagi daw siya positive nga pagkatao naturally. So, it's true that we teach what we need to learn. I know that my quest to become a more positive person and better leader has made me a better teacher. So, according to him, he grew up in Long Island, New York, in a Jewish Italian family with a lot of food and a lot of guilt, a lot of wine and a lot of winning. So, um, according to him, my parents were very loving but they were not the most positive people in the world. So loving pero para sa iyaha dili ang iyang parents ang the most positive people in the world. According to him also, my dad was a New York City police officer who worked in undercover narcotics. He fought crime every day and wasn't a big fan of positivity. So, he narrated nga yung parents dili inanha ka positive. I remember waking up in the morning and saying, "Good morning, Dad." He would say in his thick New York accent, "What's so good about it?" My dad was E.I. Bundy before, and by the age of 31, I was fearful, negative, stressed out, and miserable husband and father to two young children. So according to him, my wife had enough. She gave me an ultimatum. Change or our marriage was over. So the wife of the writer of this book um, encouraged him to really change his behavior, especially in the time or moment wherein the writer is not really in his positive outlook in life. I knew that I was allowing the stress of life and the fear of not being able to provide for my family to get the best of me. I told my wife I would change and began researching ways I could be more positive. At that time, positive psychology was an emerging field and I read everything I could about it. I began to practice positivity and write about the things I was doing. So, according to the writer, I met Kent Blanchard, who became my role model. I began taking thank you walks to practice gratitude, enjoy the outdoors, and feel grateful instead of stress. This was a life changing practice that not only energized me physically, emotionally and spiritually, but also provided time for my profound insights and ideas to come to me. So ana si John Gordon, so na-met niya si Ken Blanchard. So we will met different characters nga gi-integrate ni John Gordon in this book. So the first is the Ken Blanchard. So Ken Blanchard, as mentioned, mo ni siya ang role model, serve as role model ni John Gordon. Nga dako nakatabang para maging grateful si John Gordon instead of ma-stress siya. Okay. So again, overview of this book, integrate ang mga insights, different insights from different names and personalities. So didto gi ko og base ni John Gordon ang mga positivity ngayang gi content ani nga book. So the energy bus. So another thing that John Gordon integrated in this book, The Power of Positive Leadership, is the energy bus. So unsa din naaning the energy bus? So one of these ideas was the energy bus. So in case you haven't read it, it's about a guy named George who is miserable and negative. So kani siya kanang when I also research about the synopsis or a short summary, or I read the short summary or synopsis of the energy bus, nakita na ako kung unsa ni siya ka a nice pod nga story nga gi-integrate pod ni John Gordon diri sa The Power of Positive Leadership. So um again, it's about a guy named George who is miserable and negative. So kanang negative ang iyang outlook in life kani si George. His team at work is in this area and he has problems at home. So naa siya problema nga iyang na-encounter sa iyang balay. George was easy for me to write about because he was based on me and my struggle with negativity and adversity. So George wakes up one Monday morning to discover his car and has a flat tire, and he was to take the bus to work. On the bus, he meets Joy, the bus driver who, along with a cast of characters, teaches George the 10 rules for the ride of his life. Their advice not only helps him become a more positive person, but also a better father, husband, and leader at work. So ang nahitabo sa The Energy Bus, nagkaaberya. So ang vehicle ni George ngayang ginagamit going to work or in his workplace, nagka-aberya, there was a flat tire. So what had happened is that he has no choice in going to the workplace but to ride a bus. So one day nakita sa driver sa bus nga kanang stressful ang aura ni George. Pero ang driver sa bus, one of his goal as a driver is to make sure that all passengers in the bus are happy, not stressed. So if there would be time nga makita sa driver sa the energy bus nga dili happy or naay problema, stress ang isa ka passenger, he will do ways para ma-entertain, mawala ang stress sa mga passengers. So inana no, kanais unta nga inaniya atong masakyan nga bus puhon. So mo na ang ginahimo sa driver. So isa sa nakasakay sa ang bus is si George. So ang gihimo gi-entertain sa bus driver si George. So nalingaw pud si George na wala iyang stress. It's because ang iyang inside the bus was a happy people, ang mga passengers. Dako tabang sa the energy bus ang gihimo nga gi-contribute nga making the passengers in the bus nga happy and not stressed. So ang driver sa the energy bus. So again, George wakes up Monday morning to discover his car has a flat tire and he has to take the bus to work on the bus. He has to take the bus to work. So nagbus siya para magtrabaho on the bus. He meets Joy, but the bus driver. So ang pangalan sa bus driver is si Joy. So katong 10 rules for the ride of his life, motong importante nga gi-inculcate sa driver nga si Joy sa tanan passengers nga musakay sa bus. So dapat gyud nga happy lang ang naas nga mga passengers inside the bus. All right. There is indeed a power associated with the positive leadership, and my goal with this book is to twofold. So, mo ni ang goals, ang two goals ni John Gordon in the publish of this book kaning The Power of Positive Leadership. First, unsay purpose ngano iya haning gi-publish or gi-wrote kaning nga book. So, I aim to explain how and why positive leaders make a difference. So mo na siya kanang mo nang pinakauna nga purpose. So grabe no, grabe nga purpose bantog iyaning na-publish nga book. So gusto siya nga i-explain unsay mahimo, what is the difference nga kaya buhaton sa usa ka leader. Second, mo niyang yang purpose in publishing this book, I intend to provide a simple framework filled with practical ideas that will help anyone become a positive leader. So kaning practical ideas muni ang gihimo. So tanan nga practical ideas nga gi-integrate ni John Gordon in this book are all coming from different personalities. Kato akong gi-mention earlier nga later on or as we move on in this report, makita nato o ma-encounter nato ang mga different nga mga personalities nga gikuhaan og practical ideas nga gi-integrate ni John Gordon ani para makatabang unsaon nga mahimutang isa ka positive leader. So just a quick summary about the energy bus nga gi-integrate first or isa sa mga gi-integrate nga practical ideas or book pod ni John Gordon is the energy bus. So, energy bus. So the summary on this, positive people, positive communication, positive interactions, and positive work and theme cultures produce positive results. So mo na ang the energy bus. So later on or in the next slide atong ila-ilahon kay para sa ako dako nga tabang ang kaning the energy bus, kaning the 10 rules to fuel your life work and team with positive energy. Dako siya nga tabang. So unsa ni nga mga 10 rules. So again, kaning the energy bus nga gi-integrate sa The Power of Positive Leadership, ang authored pud ani gyapon nga book is si John Gordon. Okay, the energy bus. So here are the 10 rules for a positive and fulfilling life according to the energy bus nga gi-integrate ni John Gordon sa iyahang book nga The Power of Positive Leadership. So unsay pinakauna sa the energy bus nga naapil diri So you're the driver. So mo na ang pinakauna sa the energy bus sa the 10 rules, you're the driver. I believe we will all agree on this. Kita gyud ang driver sa atoang kaugalingon. So since kita man ang driver, of course no matter kung unsa pa na nga tabang nga atong makuha, kung unsa pa na ang mga tawo nga naa sa atong kinsa pa na ang mga tawo nga naa sa atong palibot, of course ikaw gyapon ang driver sa imuhang journey in life. So mao na nga kanang you have to do your best because at the end of the day, you are the driver of your life. So wherever the destination that you're going to be with, I know that you are responsible on that. Ikaw ang mag-drive ana kung asa ka paingon. So sama sa atong kinabuhi, kita tanan or nasa ato kaugalingon kung unsa or asa ta paingon. And then no matter kung unsa pa nakalisod, kung ang ato ang fighting spirit para moabot ana nga journey in life is strong enough, so I think that would very very helpful nga makaabot ta sa ato ang destination nga adtuan, especially kung natay mga goals nga gusto nato ma-achieve in life. So we are the driver on that. Next, focus on your vision. So mo ni ang next nga gihatag nga the second rule for a positive fulfilling life according to the energy bus. So mao na siya, focus on your vision. So pag naatay gusto nga destination or dream nga ma-achieve in life, it all started with a vision. So kato nga vision mo to imong sundan, dito ka mag-focus. Mo to nga vision ang imuhang i-focus kay para ma-achieve nimo to. So dapat naagi vision, no, dili pwede nga kanang mag-go-on lang ta in life without vision, kay mo na nga to ang diha ta magkuha og sa atong mga guide kung sa ato gusto nga ma-achieve. And then we also have fill the tank with positive energy. So in the context of the bus, so kanang fill the tank with positive energy. So kung literally kung sa bus, so of course fuel, so para muran ang bus po. Pero in life, fill the tank with positive energy. So of course i-feel na to ang atong life nga kanang positive lang ang ato ang i-focus. So kanang despite na may mga challenges, mga problems that we will encounter, but of course the best thing to do is to stay positive. Mo gina ang pinaka-importante. Next, another rule, invite others on the journey. So dili man pwede nga kita-kita lang pod. So kanang ingon sila, no man in an island. So Of course, there are people nga kanang who will journey with us and will contribute as well so that makaabot ta sa atong destination nga gusto nga adtuan. So invite others in the journey. So kung gusto nato na ma-achieve nga usa ka goal, we cannot do it on our own. So sometimes we need to have individuals who will help us, especially our family, so who will motivate or who will become our inspiration, and all other people nga magtabang sa atua. And then, number 4, 10 rules for a positive, fulfilling life. Don't waste energy on those who refuse to board. So, kanang katong mga tao nga kanang refuse to board. So, in life, if you're going to relate this one in life, so if there are people who will not journey with us, who will not willing to journey with us kung sa atong goal in life, of course, I will not spend time on them. So just focus to those people who will board with us or who will journey with us. Kay dili man pod, we cannot force someone to journey with us, especially if they will refuse to do it. So do not waste your energy on that. All right, that is the fifth rule for a positive, fulfilling life, the energy bust. And then we also have remove the energy vampires from your bust. So energy vampires, so katong mga dili maayo, mga toxic nga naa sa imuhang palibot. So do not dwell on that. Remove those things or those energy vampires. Number 7, use enthusiasm to attract and retain passengers. So use enthusiasm, so kanang joyful, genuine nga feelings or actions. So you have to use that one to attract and retain passengers, meaning to say the environment is joyful, welcoming. So that is to attract and retain passengers. So passengers will stay. So the same in the same way in life. So those people gusto nato nga mag-stay, we have to provide enthusiasm to attract and retain them in our lives. So kanang ato pud sila tagaan og importance, we let them feel that they are also welcome and they play a very important role in our lives. So by that, if they feel that one, and that would be a very helpful tool or a helpful way to retain them or the passengers if in the bus. But in our real life, so those people nga kanang gusto na to magstay, so we will provide them enthusiasm. Next, number 8, love your passengers. So kani, this is very important as well. You have to love your passengers. Of course, in life also, love the people who are with you, who are willing to be with you, and who will not leave you. Next, number 9, with the energy bus, 10 rules for a positive, fulfilling life. Drive with purpose. So drive with purpose. So kanang wala lang ka nag-journey, nag-adto sa isa ka destination without purpose or without any purpose, what would be your goal after reaching that certain destination. So drive with purpose. So you know very well why you journey, why you are there, where are you going, and what will you do, why you did that journey. Next, last, number 10, the 10 rules for a positive, fulfilling life. Have fun and enjoy the ride. So this is very important. No, life is too short. So we only live once. So have fun and enjoy the ride. So no matter whatever we encounter nga mga challenges, the very important thing to do is to have fun, enjoy the ride. So same in life, no? Daghan kay mga problema nga atong ma-encounter, mga challenges, pero of course that is part in our journey. But what is really important is that we will not forget to enjoy the ride. Because again, we only live once. So the best thing to do is to enjoy the ride. So we do hope that these 10 rules for a positive, fulfilling life will contribute in our personal life, because this is very important and helpful for us to have a fulfilling life. So I also commend this book of John Gordon, which he integrated the energy bus in the power of positive leadership. So this is also a very nice book to read nga iyang gi-integrate diri because this energy bus has something to do with positivity, especially in making your life a fulfilling one. All right. Now let's proceed to chapter 2 of this book by John Gordon, The Power of Positive Leadership. Okay. But before that, um let us have first some short or some insights of John Gordon regarding the chapter 2. So continuation, chapter 1, continuation. So sa chapter 1, which is from negative to positive. So to add on this before proceeding to chapter 2, um again, the energy bus, integrate niya in chapter 1. So, other than this information, so kaning the energy bus was published in 2007. And then, according to John Gordon, I have the opportunity to work with many Fortune 500 companies, businesses, professional and college sports teams, and hospitals and schools, and nonprofits, and have utilized the book. I've met many amazing positive leaders and have witnessed firsthand the power of positive leadership. I've seen how they had lead, inspired, and transformed their teams and organization. I've observed the impacts they had and the results they have achieved. I've also reached many positive leaders throughout history and learned about their paths to success. So daghan kayo nga mga na-encounter nga mga positive leaders ni John Gordon. There is indeed a power associated with positive leadership, and my goal with this book, so kato akong gi-mention ganina mo to yung mga first and second goal nga nung nag-publish siya ani nga book. It's one of the most important things a person can do, because one positive leader will inspire many others to become positive leaders as well. So, dako kayo ang impact once positive leader ka. Kay once imo na ginahimo ang positivity, it will also inspire to become positive leaders as well sa uban. So, according to the book, my daughter wrote her college admission essay last year, and it said, when I was young, my mom struggled with her health and my dad struggled with himself. But over the years, I watched my dad work to become more positive person. So despite sa ilahang kanang gi-describe ni John Gordon nga iyang daughter kanang um, ginarate sa iyang essay during her college admission that um, uh, her mom struggled with her health and ang iyang dad with himself. But over the years, I watched my dad work to become a more positive person. So despite sa katong ilang na encounter nga family problem, um, his dad or her dad, so, rather, worked to become a more positive person. Then he started writing and speaking about it and sharing his message with others. I saw people change for the better. I know that if he can change and they can change, the world can change. So, tsada kayo no nga quote no. I know that if he can change and they can change, the world can change. So, kung kaya ta magbago, kaya sa uban nga magbago, then the world will change as well in general. Her words brought tears to my eyes because I realized that my one decision to be a positive leader not only impacted my life but also my marriage. So, dili lang ang positivity ni nag-impact sa life ni John Gordon, but in his marriage as well. My children, yapong mga bata, so na-appeal pod sa kanang the power of positive leadership. My team at work and everyone around me. So my hope is that you too will discover the power of positive leadership in your own life. I know that being a positive leader doesn't just make you better, it makes everyone around you better. You can start today. So again, sada kay no ningon si John Gordon sa iyang book, my hope is that you too will discover the power of positive leadership. So i-discover nimo unsay power or kaya nga ma-impact ang positive leadership, unsay impact sa power of positive leadership in your own life. So I know that being a positive leader doesn't just make you better, it makes everyone around you better. So dili lang na ang power of positive leadership nga kanang mahimo imong life nga better life to live, but as well as it makes everyone around you better. For example, isa ka positive leader so sa isa ka organization, so dili lang na sa imuha mo padulong ang imuhang positive leadership, so that will also impact to your subordinates or to the members of the organization. So that is why dapat the power of positive leadership should start within us. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter 1. Let's proceed or move on now to chapter 2. So chapter 2 of this book, Real Positive. All right. The quote, important quote, the opening statement of this chapter, it says, "We are not positive because life is easy. We are positive because life can be hard." So, grabe nga, powerful nga message, no, or statement. So, dili ta positive kay sayon ang kinabuhi, so kanang dapat ta to think positively. It's because life can be hard, so kanang despite bitaw no nga sa mga kalisod, mga kaguol, mga problema, challenges, difficulties in life, kana siya mo na ang isa sa atong basihan ngano dapat positive gyud ang atong outlook in life, kay daghan nga mga challenges nga to test our positivity. So kana nga mga challenges should be our guide nga mahimutang positive people nga dili ta magthink og negative, kay we will overcome those things. Okay, so real positive, chapter 2. So it takes a lot of work to create a world-class organization. It's hard to develop a successful team. It's not easy to build a great culture. It's challenging to work toward a vision and create a positive future. It's difficult to change the world. So dili daw kuno sayon nga i-change ang kalibutan into a better one. As as a leader, you will face all kinds of challenges, adversity, negativity, and tests. There will be times when it seems as if everything in the world is conspiring against you. There will be moments you'll want to give up. There will be days when your vision seems more like a fantasy than a reality. That's why positive leadership is so essential. When some people hear the term positive leadership, they roll their eyes because they think I'm talking about Pollyanna positivity, where life is full of unicorns and rainbows. But the truth is that we are not positive because life is easy. We are positive because life can be hard. Positive leadership is not about fake positivity. It is the real stuff that makes great leaders great. So, pessimists don't change the world. Critics write words but they don't write the future. So, critics daw write words but they don't write the future. So, na may mga kritiko, mga negative judgment sa atoa, pero that will not predict or that will not that will not tell us what will happen in the future, kay wala ta kay balo what will happen in the future. Naysayers talk about problems but they don't solve them. Throughout history, we see that it's the optimists, the believers, the dreamers, the doers, and the positive leaders who change the world. So kinsa ang nag-change sa world? Ang optimists, believers, katong gatuo, the dreamers, the doers, and the positive leaders who change the world. The future belongs to those who believe in it. So ang positive leaders, good no? Ang nag-change the world. The future belongs to those who believe in it and have the belief, resilience, positivity, and optimism to overcome all the challenges in order to create it. So, research by Research by Manu Pori and David Robinson, business professors at Duke University, shows that optimistic people work harder, get paid more, are elected to office more often, and win at sports more regularly. Research by psychologist Martin Seligman also shows that optimistic salespeople perform better than their pessimistic counterparts. And psychologist Barbara Fredrickson, research demonstrates that people who experience more positive emotion than negative ones are more likely to see the bigger picture, build relationships, and thrive in their work and career. Whereas people who experience mostly negative emotions are more likely to have narrow perspective and tend to focus more on problems. So katulad ko nung mga um, negative emotions nga naa sa usa ka tawo, mao daw to ang mga tawo nga kanang ah, focus more on problem. So dili sila mga positive nga mga tao. Another personality nga gikuhaan og idea, Daniel Goleman's research demonstrates that positive teams perform at higher levels than negative teams. So John Gottman's pioneering research on relationships found that marriage are more likely to succeed when couple experiences a 5 to 1 ratio of positive to negative interaction. When the ratio approaches a 1 to 1 ratio, marriages are more likely to end in divorce. Additional research also shows that work groups with positive to negative interaction ratios greater than 3 to 1 are significantly more productive than teams that do not reach this ratio. Teams with more negative interactions are more likely to be stagnant and unproductive. So katong mga teams daw nga negative interactions ang ilahang pakikipag-communicate sa ilang other nga mga individuals, sila daw kuno ang unproductive. So the positive energy you share with your team is significant. So kanang imong positivity nga gi-share sa mga kauban nimo sa workplace, sa organization, or sa imong pamilya, mo na isa sa pinaka-importante. We also have, according to Wayne Baker, the research he had and Robert Cross conducted shows that the more you energize people in your workplace, the higher your work performance. So kung for example, kung isa ka leader sa organization, for example, you are a school head, so if you're going to energize your teachers, dili nimo kanang tarungon nimo pag-manage, tarungon nimo sila pagdala, so of course, the tendency is that there will be a higher work performance. Baker says that this occurs because people want to be around you. So dapat kanang tao daw kuno kanang gusto ang sa ka individual gusto siya nga naa sa iya nasa around sa iya, so gusto siya i-guide other than nga gusto niya mahitabo kay i-guide siya sa iyahang workplace, which is also very true no, kanang naay guidance sa atoa. Of course pag naay mag-guide sa atoa lahi ra ang feeling. So, dili man sa tanang panahon nga i-guide ta kay kung if we can adapt what is the work all about, if we can do it on our own, so okay lang. Pero kung walay mag-guide nato, somewhat like kanang dili ta ma-energize. So, lahira ang guidance so that we will know what to do and then we will perform better in our workplace. So, you attract talent and people are more likely to devote their discretionary time to your projects. They'll offer new ideas, information, and opportunities to you before others. So, Baker adds that the opposite is also true. If you energize others, people won't go out of their way to work with or help you. So kung di-energize nimo, wala nimo siya gi-energize, opposite siya sa nag-energize, so ang mahitabo, ang people won't go out of their way to work with or help you. So dili na nun mo tabang ganahan kay dili man pud maayo imong approach. Okay. Kani siya, this is according to research. Gallup estimates that negativity costs the economy 250 to 300 billion US dollars a year and affects the morale, performance, and productivity of teams. So, ang kung negative daw kuno ka nga pagkatao or ang mga tao is negative, that cost the economy. So dili daw mo productive ang economy kung daghan kay mga positive negative nga mga tao. So 250 to 300 billion US dollar a year nakaapekto sa moral and performance and productivity sa team. So dapat lang yun nga positive tano kay apil mo di ang economy na maapektuhan kay kung dili daw ka positive nga pagkatao, mahimo daw unproductive ang situation. So which is very true no. For example kanang you are looking for a job and then kanang dili man inana ka sayon nga makakita ta og trabaho, most especially in this present time nga there are a lot of graduates. And there are also previous graduates who are still jobless at this present time. So grabe gailog gid og trabaho. So kana siya kanang kung usahay dili ka positive nga pagkatao, you will end up saying that I will stop looking for a job kay murag wala na gid kay makita. So nahimong negative ang imong thinking. So therefore, that will impact the economy kay supposed to be kung nagiging positive ka, if you say that no, there will be a time or there will be a perfect time nga makakita ko og trabaho. So if that is the mindset, there is a positive mindset, of course that will improve the economy kay wabot ang time nga imuhang pagka-positive makakita gid ka og trabaho, and once you work, this will contribute to the economy and of course your status in life. So inana siya no. Okay. The research is clear. Positivity is about more than having a positive state of mind. It's also a life changer and gives people a competitive advantage in business, sports, and politics. While the pessimists are complaining about the future, the energy vampires are sabotaging it. And realists are talking about that. The optimists are working hard with others to create it. Pori and Robinson's research shows that our attitude helps create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because optimists believe in a positive future. So kanang optimist ka, mutuo ka sa positive future. They actually delude themselves into working more to make it possible. Their belief makes them willing to take actions to achieve it. As a result, positive leaders invest their time and energy in driving a positive culture. They create and share the vision for the road ahead. They lead with optimism and belief and address and transform the negativity that too often teams and organization. They take on the battle, overcome the negativity, face the adversity, and keep moving forward. So inana ang mga kuano kanang optimist. They take on the battle, overcome, gusto ma-overcome nila ang negativity, and then face the adversity and keep moving forward. So kanang mga optimist, despite sa mga ma-encounter nga mga challenges, they are just moving forward. They devote all their energy and effort on uniting and connecting their organization and invest in relationships that truly build great teams. They believe in their principles, they believe in their people, they believe in teamwork, they believe in the future, they believe in what's possible. So they act and do, connect and create. Build and transform their team and organization and change the world. In the following chapters, I'm going to take you through a simple, powerful model and framework you can utilize and implement to enhance your leadership capabilities and put your positive leadership into action. So, John Gordon in this book presented the framework. So, this is now the framework. So, number one, positive leaders drive positive cultures. So, kana siya no, um, positive leaders drive positive culture. So, for example, in the organization. Next, positive leaders create and share a positive vision. So, once positive leaders ka, you create and share the positive vision. So, dili lang you take it on your own. You share that one, especially sa imuhang mga members. Positive leaders lead with optimism, positivity, and belief. So, isa man ka leader, so it's very important that you are to lead with optimism. Sa imo gid magikan ang positivity, dili kay leader, ikaw ang leader pero negative kay ka. So basing ma-adapt po na sa mga members. So that is not a good sign. So since you are a leader, you have to lead with optimism. Positive leaders confront, transform, and remove negativity. So Katong mga positive leaders, so kanang tanggalon gitong mga negativity. Positive leaders create united and connected teams. So i-unite nimo ang team kung unsa man nga mga um, challenges or problems nga somewhat like maka disorganize sa team. So your task as a positive leader is to unite them. Then positive leaders build great relationships and teams. Ano no kanang since isa ka ka-leader, so make sure nga kanang you build a great relationship and team. So ako lang i-share kaning positive leaders build great relationship and teams. So kanang before I was in deep ed, before ko nag deep ed, I was working in a private company. So nag-work ko sa ka-private company for almost 5 years. So nadugay ko pag-enter sa field of teaching. So it was a private company, and then of course we have our manager. So nakita na ko kung how she manage the organization or the team in a way that para sa ako it was not a good management towards the team. I believe on that. The very reason nga nakita the very reason nga nung makaingon ko na, it's because um once you raise your opinion or concerns to this manager, feeling nako kay she will not listen, because for her siya gid ang tama or siya ang correct per me. And then um one time, once naa siya'y i-correct sa imuha and you will respond, you will defend your side, dili siya ga palupig. Ang iyang ginahimo, always niya ipatigbabaw nga siya gid ang insakto. For example, ako, once mag-defend ko sa akong side, she will not listen. And then, what had happened is that there were massive resignation among employees of that work nga ako ang previous job nako. It's because I talked to these employees nga nag-resign, and these employees are working in the company for how many years? They are working almost 20 years, more than 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 7 years. So all of them resigned their post. And then in a private conversation, kung kami lang gaistorya without the manager, they will tell us or they will tell me na they resigned, it's because dili nila makaya ang behavior, ang approach sa manager sa amua. And I must say nga, isa pud siguro sa ako ang reason man tog nag-resign ko dadto sa company, it's because I cannot agree or dili na ko kaya nga i-face ang manager nga inadto ang iyang pag-handle sa organization. You do not have the freedom, siya gid permi ang magdaog. Despite nga kanang naka sa insakto, it seems like you are being invalidated. So though at first okay man, pero from time to time murag wala na ko nakita ang iyahang pagka-leadership sa mua, ang iyahang power of positive leadership sa mua. So there is a research, dili man ina na kadako ang among sweldo dadto, pero there is a research nga nag-ingon dili daw magmatter ang Filipino employee or worker sa sweldo usahay. Sometimes ang importante sa iyaha kanang iyahang good relationship towards sa iyahang mga co-workers, manager or members in the team or organization. Mo nang mahitabo nga usahay dili na mag-resign ang mga members sa usa ka workplace. It's because para sa ilaha they are already kanang ma-miss nila ang ilang mga members sa organization, ang ilang mga co-workers kay murag they consider them as a family na. So mo na nga dili sila mag-resign, so despite sa unsa kagamay ang sweldo, murag happy na lang sila. It's because ang relationship sa team is very good. So that is in opposite sa akong previous job. So technically almost 5 years ko, because when I graduated in CPSC year 2015, after graduation, that was March 2015 among graduation sa fourth year college. So, by July, nagtrabaho din ko diretso. So, 2015 and then early 2000, nag-resign din ko sa post. It's because For example pod, kung maguli ko sa kamigin and then I will file a leave of absence, and then in my leave of absence usahay kay kanang mulapas ko, it's because dili malikayan nga, for example na extend ang bonding sa family, it's because panagsara pug ko maguli occasionally. So pagbalik na ko, I will try to explain my side if why I was extended in my vacation or my leave of absence. She will not listen. She will not listen, and during meeting, it seems like she will not recognize you nga naabot na ka, nga nakabalik na ka sa workplace. It seems like you are invisible to her. So, isa na sa reason pod nga murag nakita na ko nga kanang permi lang siya dili mayang pag-handle sa team. So, other than that, um, I decided nga kanang to resign in my post. Though, kay balo ko nga okay ra gid yung tato nga trabaho. It seems like grabe kayo ang iyahang pag-work sa company nga to the extent or to the point nga naapektuhan ang iyang relationship sa mga members, kay gusto lang niya trabaho inanha. Na gusto niya nga mainsakto pulido ang trabaho din, once na mga error, negative ang iyang approach sa imuha, diretso ka niya i-judge or na mga judgment nga iyang himuon, which is para sa kwa incorrect. And then you will have no time to raise out your voice kay gusto siya nga siya gid ang masunod. And then piling gid niya pod nga siya ang tag-iya sa company, pero ang nahitabo just recently, the company filed a bankruptcy. So just this early 2000, in the early part of the 2023 last year, so na-close ang company. So sahay makaingko nga kanang dili lang untay nadto yang pag-manage ang yang pag-handle sa mga tao, kay ang importante ang good relationship sa mga coworkers. So at the end of the day, wala man sige pamana sa iyaha ang company. Pero that is a lesson to all of us, no, nga kanang somewhat like we will not do that one in our part, nga we will be different sa inanha nga mga klase nga mga tao, nga once we become a leader, we have to take good care and make sure that we have an harmonious relationship towards our coworkers. Okay. Positive leaders pursue excellence. So of course, we always aim for excellence for the organization, workplace, or whatever. Positive leaders lead with purpose. So of course, lagi purpose nga nung nakakaana, why you lead that one. Positive leaders have grit. So ana siya. So those are the framework stated by John Gordon in this book. So now, let's proceed to the different personalities. Let us start with Manju Pori. So, she is a business professor at Duke University, show that optimistic people work harder, get paid more, are elected to office more often, and win at sports more regularly. So that is the idea of Manju Pori, presented by John Gordon. We also have Barbara Fredrickson. So people who experience more positive emotions than negative emotions are more likely to see the bigger picture, build relationships, and thrive in their work and career. Whereas people who experience mostly negative emotions are more likely to have a narrower perspective and tend to focus more on problems. We also have Wayne Baker. So according to Wayne Baker, the more you energize people in your workplace, the higher your work performance. Baker says that this occurs because people want to be around you. You attract talent, and you people are more likely to devote their discriminatory time to your projects. They'll offer new ideas, information, and opportunities to you before others. So, culture is not just one thing, it's everything. So, let us proceed now to chapter 3. According to chapter 3, positive leaders drive positive culture. So in an opening statement, it says, culture is not just one thing, it's everything. So everything yun ang culture, no? Positive leaders drive positive cultures because as a leader, you are the driver of your bus and you have a big role, a responsibility in creating the kind of journey you and your team will experience. Okay. Positive leaders. Oh, according to John Gordon, 'di ba nagingon diri positive leaders drive positive culture. So ingon siya, I use the word drive here because as a leader, you are the driver of your bus and you have a big role of responsibility in creating the kind of journey you and your team will experience. One year I spoke at school, district, and talk with all their leaders, mostly school principal. So nag-talk si John Gordon. I share the same principles and strategies with everyone. So yang gi-share, so kay balo magita nga keynote speaker, daghan kay siya mga inspirational talk nga ginahimo, public engagement, din nag-share sa mga message or sa mga inspirational nga mga talk si John Gordon. So kaniyang giingon, I spoke at a school district and talked with all their leaders, mostly school principals. I share the same principles and strategies with everyone. At the end of the year, I heard from two principals from the district. So nakadungog do siya nga nagstorya ang duha ka principal. So una nga principal, one principal had given every member of the staff the energy bus to read and followed up with staff meetings where she discussed and reinforce the principles each month. So katong the energy bus pod nga book nga ang content pod is kanang 10 rules in making a fulfilling life. Gi-share to ni John Gordon. Katong gi-discuss na to earlier. Gi-share ni John Gordon ang the energy bus sa katong principal nga pwede niya magamit sa iyang mga teachers. Pagamiton ni niya to reinforce the principles each month. So she focused all of her energy on creating a positive culture. One meeting, one conversation, one interaction, one positive message, one teacher, and one student at a time. So muna ang gihimo sa principal, first nga principal nga kaistorya ni John Gordon. So the energy bus ang gigamit. So mo ang gihimo sa kuan sa first nga school principal, gi-share niya, nag-talk siya about the energy bus. And then, she completely transformed the moral, engagement, energy, and culture of the school. So, mo na ang gikuan kanang nahitabo sa after sharing the energy bus towards the teachers of that school head, yung mga subordinates. The other principal I heard from was very disappointed. So ang katong una nga principal nag-successful ang iyang paggamit sa the energy bus kay iya gyud gi-implement. So ang ikaduha nga principal, giunsa niya paggamit ang the energy bus, na-disappoint siya. So, giignan niya si John Gordon that she was handed a copy of the energy bus to all her teachers. So, iyang pangtagaan og kopya atong the energy bus para ma-inspire mga teachers or encourage them to read it, nga basahon daw to, and wondered why it didn't have much of an impact on her school and culture. So, ngano kaha nga wala may impact, wala may nahitabo after sharing that the copy of energy bus. So, muna ang hunahuna or gistorya sa second nga school head or principal nga ka-talk ni John Gordon. I realized in that moment that you can give a team a bus, but unless you have drivers, it doesn't move. It's not a book that makes a difference. It's not a lecturer or a keynote. It's the leader that makes the difference. It's the leader that must drive the culture. So, ang pasabot ni John Gordon nga katong second nga school principal nga iyang gisharean sa the energy bus, wala niya gigamit gyud nga siya ang mag-lead unta. Igo lang siya naghatag sa the energy bus copy sa mga teachers niya, pero wrong to siya nga concept ingon si John Gordon. The most important thing there is that the school principal should act or lead in the dissemination and in the application of the energy bus. Kay iya man gihatagan og copy siya mismo. Siya dapat mismo ang mag-lead sa adto mag-inculcate, mag-make sure nga gi-follow or gi-apply ang katong the energy bus. So mo nang wala na discourage siya, na disappoint siya kay taman lang siya sa panghatag sa kopya, wala kayo na emphasize. Okay. Okay, positive cultures. Your most important job. Okay, let us now met the different uh, personalities that was integrated in this book, the power of positive leadership. So your most important job, so unsa di ka ang trabaho, pinaka-importante nga trabaho. So to drive the culture, and not just any culture, you must create a positive culture that energizes and encourages people, fosters connected relationships, and great teamwork, empowers and enables people to learn and grow, and provides an opportunity for people to do their best work. So, according to Nancy Cooper, Nancy Cooper was born and raised in New York. Kani siya, born and raised in New York. According to her, culture is her number one priority, as she drove a positive culture through an organization that was literally full of drivers. She wanted to improve engagement and morale, so she rolled out the Energy Bus. So, isa si Nancy Cooper sa nagamit sa The Energy Bus para iyahang mainganyo ang iyahang mga team nga mahimong positive leader, mahimong positive ang ilang outlook sa kinabuhi. So, Nancy Cooper was a retired UPS president. So, unsa nang UPS? United Parcel Service, a global package delivery and logistic company. So, naa siya mga membro nga mga tao. So, ang iyaha gid gi-emphasize, number one gid ang iyahang gusto mahitabo is to drive a positive culture. Okay. Culture drives expectation and beliefs. Expectations and beliefs drive behaviors. Behaviors drive habits, and habits create the future. It all starts with a culture you create and drive throughout the organization. That's where all success and great results begin. Driving your culture is not something you can delegate. You are the leader, and you must spend your time, energy, and effort creating and building the culture of your team and organization. So, Nancy Cooper, she wanted to improve engagement and morale. So, she rolled out the Energy Bus to the 1,000 leaders she led with the intent of enhancing positive leadership, positive interactions, and improve relationships with the UPS drivers. Her leaders all read book. She discussed ways to implement the ideas. Then, they rolled out the Energy Bus to their 11,000 drivers in the district of simply focusing on positive interactions and improve relationships. So mo nang gihimo ni Nancy Cooper. So again, gigamit niya ang The Energy Bus. She provided copies sa iyang mga members para himuon ang The Energy Bus nga book nga inspiration para mas mag-improve ang performance, para mas mahimong positive ang ilahang outlook in life or ilang performance ang ilahang trabaho. So it was exciting to hear from Nancy a year later. She reported that engagement, morale, and performance had risen while disengagement and absenteeism had fallen. Nancy drove the UPS bus and it made all the difference. So nakatabang ang the Energy Bus para mag-perform ang iyahang mga members, ang iyahang mga subordinates well sa ilahang workplace. Okay, another one, let us meet Alan Mulally, so the former CEO of Ford. So kailaman taani nga si Alan Mulally, the former CEO of Ford, led one of the most incredible corporate turnarounds in history. In 2006, when he stepped into the CEO role, the automaker had just suffered an annual loss of $12.7 billion and was on the average of bankruptcy. So, mo nang nahitabo no sa ani nga personality. In just few short years under his leadership, Ford was back in the black and the company saw an annual profit every year since 2009. Mulally credited this improbable feat on the organization's focus on driving and building one Ford culture that was centered on the idea of one team, where everyone in the organization was committed to the enterprise and to each other. A cultural shift like this doesn't happen by accident. Mulally shared with me his management system, a simple but powerful set of principles, philosophies, behaviors, and processes. He designed to create a culture of Ford that fostered unity, teamwork, appreciation, and transparency, safety, and even joy. I'll share more of what I learned from Mulally, who defines his leadership as positive leadership throughout the book, because he's one of the history's greatest example of positive leadership, and he demonstrates the great cultures happen when positive leaders know their most important job is to drive the culture. So kana si Alan. Next, let's proceed to number 2. Culture beats strategy. When Apple was just two Steves, they knew the culture they want to create. So let us start to Rick Hendrick, the owner and founder of Hendrick Automotive Group and Hendrick Motorsports. In a world where there are thousands of car dealerships and many NASCAR racing teams, Hendrick Automotive is the largest privately owned dealer group in the United States, and Hendrick Motorsports is the winningest racing organization in the modern NASCAR era, sorry. Next, know what you stand for. So, before we will move on, let us discuss further information about Rick Hendrick. So, the owner and founder of Hendrick Automotive Group and Hendrick Motorsports. Okay. Through speaking to the leaders of Hendrick Automotive and Jimmy Johnson's racing team owned by Hendrick Motorsports, I have witnessed the incredible culture in both organizations. So it's clear that they are driven by the same person. Rick Hendrick's signature leadership and drive are ingrained in everything they do. His people are humble, hungry, thankful, kind, and appreciative. They are on a quest for greatness. Their buildings are spotless. Their energy is always positive and contagious. So, ang pagdala ni Rick Hendricks sa iyang mga tao kato siya humble, thankful, kind, and appreciative. They are in quest for greatness. So isa po na nga personality nga gi-integrate ni John Gordon. Okay, number 3, know what you stand for. You might be wondering where to start when driving and building a culture. I believe it starts with two questions. What do we stand for? What do we want to be known for? While visiting Hendrick Automotive, I asked several of Rick's leaders what this stood for, and they all said servant leadership. He is very focused on making sure everyone's voice is heard, because it is the team that shape the company today, tomorrow, and in the future. One of Rex's mantras is none of us is as smart as all of us. He constantly states people are our biggest asset. So, mo na yung gusto iparating nga, people are our biggest asset. If we take care of our people, they will take care of our customers. And if we work together, we will all accomplish more. Okay, according to Rick Hendrick, teamwork through trust, respect is the core organizational values nga gina-apply ni Rick Hendrick sa iyang company. Next, number three, more than uh, number four, rather, of positive cultures, more than words. So driving a positive, high-performing cultures requires more than words. After all, everyone has a mission statement, but only the great organizations also have people who are on a mission. The greatest mission statement in the world is pointless unless your people are on a mission. So grabe no, any more than words, nagingon siya nga, of course, ang organization, ang isa ka company na ay mga mission vision statement. For example, sa school. So, kana daw kuno mga mission and vision, pointless daw na unless people are on a mission. So, katong gi-perform nga work sa usa ka individual or worker, employee, moto ang pinaka importante, people are on mission. Are on mission. Moto ang pinaka the best nga mission statement. As a positive leader, you can't just show the way and talk about the way. You must also lead the way. You must live your culture and know what it is an extension of who you are as a leader. Don't tell the world your mission statement. Show the world you're on a mission. Okay, that's a very good no. Do not show down the world your mission statement. Show the world you are on mission. Then energize and empower your people to be culture drivers and culture builders. Positive leaders know they can't do it alone. Culture starts with the leader, living it and inspiring and empowering others to live as well. Okay, let's proceed. Number five, positive cultures, positively contagious. So as a leader, the energy you put into your team and culture determines the quality of it. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that when you have a feeling in your heart, it goes to every cell in the body, then outward, and people up to 10 feet away can sense the feelings transmitted by your heart. This means that each day you are broadcasting to your team how you feel. You are broadcasting either negative energy and or positive energy, apathy or passion, indifference or purpose. Research from Harvard University also supports the idea that the emotions you feel are contagious and affect the people around you. Your team is just is just likely to catch your bad mood as the flu, and on the flip side, they will catch your good mood as well. As a leader, your attitude, energy, and leadership is contagious, and it has a big impact on your culture. Great cultures and teams are built with positive, contagious energy. So it's essential that you share those types of feelings. When you walk into the office or the meeting or onto the field, you have a decision to make. Are you going to be a germ to your team or a big dose of vitamin C? So dapat dili ta germ sa usa ka team, dili ta problema, dili ta toxic. Dapat kita ang vitamin C, kita ang asset. Please know that you don't have to be an extrovert to be a positively contagious. Sharing positive energy doesn't mean you have to be a rara reader and bounce off the walls. It means that from the heart, you simply broadcast the love, passion, positivity, and purpose that you have for your team, organization, and mission. It comes more from your essence than it doesn't your words. Okay, so mo nang positively contagious. Number six, create a culture that people feel. So feeling is more powerful than hearing. You can't just create a culture where people hear about what's important. You must create a culture where people feel what's important. You must create a culture where people don't just hear your talk, but rather they feel your walk. Then they feel the mission and also hear about the mission. They'll be on a mission. Next, invest in root if you want the fruit. So if culture is so important, then why don't more leaders focus on it? It's because culture is not easily quantifiable. You can measure sales, you can measure revenue, cost, profits, goals, wins and losses, outcomes and results. But it's not easy to measure the health and strength of your culture. Culture building also requires a lot of work, time, energy, and focus. To drive and sustain it, it's also a lot easier to simply measure the fruit of the tree than it is to cultivate the root. The world measures leaders by their results, and this causes many leaders to focus only on the results and outcomes, meaning they focus on the fruit of the tree and ignore the root. However, we know that if you focus on the fruit and ignore the root, the tree dies. That's not my opinion, it's the truth, and we see it play at all. Too often on sports teams, businesses, hospitals, schools, and churches and families. If you want the fruit, you must invest in the root. If you invest in the root, you will always receive a great supply of fruit. Of course, you should measure your fruit, but you should do so knowing that it's simply a byproduct of how well you are nurturing the root. Your culture is your root, and your focus should be on the process that nourishes, that produces the fruit. Okay, let's proceed to number 7, invest. No, let's proceed to number 8, positive culture. You must keep building your culture. So let us meet Mike Smith. So who is Mike Smith? Mike Smith learned that a culture will not sustain itself. You must sustain it. So ikaw gid mismo, you must continue to build it, reinforce it, live it, protect it, and fight for it. I've learned from many of the great leaders that you must invest in your cultures in such a way that it becomes stronger than all the forces trying to sabotage it. I've learned that you and your team must value your culture to the point that you will fight for it. I've learned that when you create a culture worth fighting for and invest in your people the degree that they want to fight for your culture and for each other, your organization will have the grit and strength to overcome the challenges you face and become an unstoppable and positive leaders. Okay, a quick overview if who is this Mike Smith? So, Mike Smith is a former American football coach. Okay, let us now move on to the last chapter, chapter 4, positive leaders create and share a positive vision. So in an opening statement for this chapter, it's important to have a compelling vision and a comprehensive plan. Positive leadership, conveying the idea that there is always a way forward, is so important because that is what you are here for, to figure out how to move the organization forward. Alan Mulally. Okay. Positive leadership is all about seeing and creating a brighter and better future. So, inanhano, it's about investing, innovating, creating, building, improving, and transforming education, healthcare, business, government, technology, and farming design, communities, cities, transportation, and every aspect of our lives and the world we live in. Some scoop when leaders share bold ideas, imaginative goals, and seemingly impossible dreams, but ideas, imagination, and dreams are the fabric positive leaders wave together to create the future and change the world. Okay. Uh, at one time, Star Wars was just an idea in the mind of George Lucas rather. So at one time Star Wars was just an idea in the mind of George Lucas. But now the force is as strong as ever. J.K. Rowling had a vision of Harry Potter and how he's an iconic part of our society and as a roller coaster in Universal Studios. John F. Kennedy had a vision for sending man to the moon. Ronald Reagan saw the Berlin Wall come down before it crumbled. Steve Jobs imagined the iPad and iPhone long before the world was addicted to them. Abraham Lincoln envisioned a united America. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream about equality. George Washington had thoughts of revolution and freedom before fighting for independence. A positive leader sees what's possible and then takes the next steps to rally and unite people to create it. Every invention, project, creation, and transformation starts with an idea, an imagination, and a vision of what's possible. History shows us that if you can see it, you can create it. If you have a vision, then you also have the power to make it happen. Positive leaders tap into the power of a vision and find a way forward. But in order to rally people to follow you, you must be able to articulate and communicate your vision in a simple, clear, bold, and compelling way. Whether it's Ford's one Ford or another. So a North Star. So though Conant, the former CEO of Campbell, said that the most important thing he did when he became the leader of the company was to share the vision. Sharing a vision and a North Star is important because needs one everyone needs something to hope for and work toward. As humans, we have an innate desire to be great and do something great. We have a longing to improve and create a brighter and better future, and yet so often fear holds us back. Stress weakens us, obstacles test our resolve, the adversity makes us want to give up. A leader who shares a vision and a way forward is a leader in hope, a believer in the impossible, a champion of what's possible, and a coach who guides and inspires a team to keep improving and keep moving forward. Again, though Conant is a CEO of Campbell Soup, okay. Next, a telescope and microscope. As a positive leader, you will want to carry a telescope and a microscope with you on your journey. The telescope helps you and your team keep your eyes on your vision, North Star, and big picture. The microscope helps you zoom focus on the things you must do in short term to realize the vision in your telescope. If you have only a telescope, then you'll be thinking about your vision. You need to frequently pull out your telescope to remind yourself and your team where you are going. And you'll need to look through your microscope daily in order to focus on what matters most and follow through on your commitments. Together, they will help you take your team and organization where you want to go. So, kanino ang telescope and microscope? So, i-picture out nimo using these devices. Next, we will have Dabo Swinney's vision, head coach football, Clemson. So I've worked with Dabo Swinney and Clemson football for the past 5 years. A few years ago, Dabo told me that the day after he was named the interim head coach of the team midway throughout the 2008 season, he had an early morning's meeting with the board of trustees. He hadn't slept much the night before and had a lot on his mind. During this meeting, one of the trustees said his vision was that Clemson would create a program that was like other schools that had great academics and great football. Dabo was tired and wanted to say something, but he kept telling himself, Don't see it, don't see it, don't see it. In the end, he couldn't help himself. He responded to the trustee and said, Sir, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but that's not my vision at all. My vision is much bigger than that. My vision is that we'll create a program where all the football programs you mentioned want to be like us. That's my vision. Okay, so other than that, a funny story about his journey is that when Dabo became the head coach again, he asked his athletic director at the time for a television for his office to watch game and approach footage. The athletic director told him it wasn't in his budget and they couldn't buy him one. So Dabo went to the store and with his own money bought a television, which he still uses to this day. Positive leaders, despite the circumstances, obstacles, and setbacks, keep the vision alive and continue to share it to inspire others. Dabo keeps the vision alive all season and Clemson made it back to the 2016 National Championship to play Alabama again. But this time, they won with a dramatic touchdown with 1 second left on the clock. So that's the story of Dabu. Next, number three, keep the vision alive. To understand the importance of keeping your vision alive, let's look at marathon runners. The fewest number of people quit a marathon in the first mile and the second fewest runners quit in the last mile. I would expect a lot to quit in the last mile because by that point, they have been running the longest and should be the most physically tired. But they don't quit because they are so close to the finish line. They don't quit because they can see the end in sight. They have a vision of where they are going and they keep running towards it. It shows the power of the mind and vision. Next one, number four, make the vision come alive. We've been talking about a lot of concepts and ideas, but my goal with this book is not just share principles and stories and philosophy, but also practice practical ideas you can implement in this spirit of the simple ways to transform ideas and visions into results is to have a conversation with the people you lead. You may be the leader of 150 people, 1,500 people, or 15,000 people. But for the purpose of this exercise, you will do this with your direct reports, and then each person you lead will do this with their direct reports, and so on throughout the team and organization. During each conversation, you share the vision and you ask each person to identify what it means to him or her. For the vision to come to life, it must have meaning to us individually. For example, before I spoke to the leaders of Palmetto Health in South Carolina, I interviewed a bunch of people who worked in their hospitals and asked them the vision and what it meant to them. Amazingly, each person was able to recite the vision and tell me specifically how it resonated on an individual level. After people on your team identify what the vision means to them, ask them what their personal vision is and how it can help contribute to the bigger vision of the organization. Then ask them how you can help them on their journey. What do they need from you to be their best? Finally, ask them how they would like you to hold them accountable. If you have an open and honest conversation like this, with each person, you lead and continue to communicate and discuss their personal and organizational visions throughout the year. You'll see the power of a vision come to life When people know how they are contributing to a bigger vision and have a bigger purpose of work and feel like their manager, leader, coach genuinely cares about them, the research shows that engagement soars. We will take more about this later in the book. But for now, consider the great way to share, discuss, and bring the vision to life one person at a time. Okay, down to the almost last part of the slide, no? My vision. I love learning and talking about the power of positive vision because it's a vision that has driven me to overcome all the obstacles I have faced to do the work I do now. In 2005, I was on a plane headed to a speaking engagement in Portland, Oregon. So this is the narration by John Gordon. I was energized about speaking and thinking about how much the three restaurant franchises I owned were draining me. While reading magazines, I came across an article that was titled How to Know When to Sell Your Business. And I thought that maybe it was a time to sell the restaurants. On my way home, I read a completely different magazine and came across an article titled How to Value Your Business When Selling. I didn't think it was a coincidence, so when I walked in the door of my house, I told my wife it was time to sell the restaurants. The signs were clear. I was going to do what I love and focus 100% of my time and energy on writing and speaking. My wife wasn't as excited and optimistic. She asked what would happen if it didn't work out. I was only doing a few speaking engagements a month, didn't have a best selling book, and we certainly weren't going to get rich from selling the restaurants. We could survive a year or two, but if writing and speaking didn't work out, then what? I told her there were no other options. Somehow, some way, it was going to work out, and it was then that my vision was born. I was going to inspire and empower as many people as possible, one person at a time. 6 months after selling the restaurants, I was walking and praying. So that is the vision of John Gordon. And for the continuation of this book, it would be Ma'am Jessica Cabengas and Ma'am Rebecca Cabaraban, rather. Okay? So, that is my part of my assigned topic. I hope that we learned something. And personally, I can say that this book is very helpful, very important, no? Especially if we are a leader, we as a teacher in the classroom, we can use or apply this one as well. So I commend this book. I thank John Gordon because he has written this book and we have a lot of learnings that we can get, especially in inspiring us to become a positive person. At this present time, there are a lot of challenges, problems that we encountered in our everyday living. But the most important thing to do is to stay positive. Everything that we encountered, we will overcome that one. So that would be all, Doc. Thank you for listening. God bless. And thank you for being part of our MAID journey for this particular subject. God bless. And once again, more power.